Hey, so hi everybody. I'm here this morning just to with Lorna, who joins me on the retreats and is joining me in the February retreat, so that we could just have a little chat and you can get to see us on screen, and also find a little bit more out about what we actually do and how what happens on the retreat and how it is what people can experience. So we were having a little chat before we started recording this, and yeah, there was a couple of key elements which I think are really, really important actually that Lorna mentioned. I think it'd be good to just talk about those. So go ahead, Lorna, what was it we were saying? What was it we were talking about?
I think for me, there's two things that are just really powerful that the retreat offers, and the thing that I really love about the retreats is that beyond the counselling room, people that are engaged in therapy already, they get chance to come and try out things that could really make a positive contribution to their recovery from anxiety and depression. So being able to try the yoga, mindfulness-based stress reduction, get a deep tissue massage, good healthy food, um, some of the games we do in the evenings. There's so many kind of opportunities to kind of get a taste for things that might be something that contributes to them building their recovery and getting themselves well again. And I think it's really hard as a counsellor when you're meeting somebody one-to-one to kind of really give that encouragement to say, counselling is one thing that will contribute to your recovery, but it really is about being proactive and taking personal responsibility to build into your life those kind of healthy habits that keep you well for the long term. And I think that's what the retreats are really, really good at, not just the activity-based things, but some of the learning will become those strategies that will become people's go-to ways of really keeping themselves well in the long term.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yeah, and I love the way that you described it there, and also that what word keeps coming to my mind is that connection and just being with a group of people who are like-minded, and getting all those beautiful things, the yoga, and I just want to say as well that the yoga is not like the type of yoga that you will get at a gym, say for instance. It's very much gentle yoga. It's connecting to your body and mind. So it's really learning how yoga can support your mental health, because it actually really can. I mean, I'm a complete convert with yoga, and it's not for everybody, but I'd say that 80% of the people that come through the retreats end up then having some kind of yoga practice or Tai Chi or something, some kind of body movement, because that's so therapeutic. And yeah, you mentioned the evenings. It's so nice, isn't it, to just hang out in the evenings and just chat. And like you say, as counsellors, for us, when we see people one-to-one once a week, you're not in that social aspect. So we don't get to know each other. We don't get to just have a discussion and have free flow as things come up. It can be quite intense in a therapy session. And yeah, just taking the time out for yourself. So yeah, I mean, anything else you want to just say, just add to that at
Mm.
this point?
I mean, Vanessa, how passionate I am about group work and group therapy. And I think what we see time and again is when people come together and feel able to share with each other what is going on in their lives, that they learn very quickly there is such similarity in how each of them are responding to those difficulties emotionally, how they're thinking about things, how they're perhaps dealing with things, and that maybe not being, the most effective way at that time. But being able to recognise that, oh, it's not just me that thinks that way. It's not just me that feels like that. It's not just me that's kind of really struggling and, doing things that are probably undermining myself, but sort of getting into those sort of negative spirals that all of a sudden in that group, then there's this huge kind of empathy for each other, that people can relate to one another. And that kind of common humanity, then it sort of feels quite validating, but also I think that empathy that people can feel for each other then translates into a foundation of finding some compassion for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we see how hard people are on themselves, and so the retreat, I know, has such a huge focus on being able to find some self-compassion and kind of cutting yourself some slack, and you know, yeah, that's such a powerful healing process.
Yeah, yeah. And there's two key things I think. There's that Me Too thing, and there's no shame in having those kind of negative patterns in your life, because so many people beat themselves up for that, don't they? And
Mm.
I have as well in the past, and so there's no shame in that. And just recognizing that other people also are kind of going through similar stuff to yourself, and just finding a way to actually just be kinder to yourself, which can be quite, some people are quite resistant to that, but it's what we do is we kind of give that as an option, and actually there's so many benefits to actually just being kinder to yourself.
Well, we see it, don't we, when people go home, we see the difference from day one to the day they go home, and that just looking so much lighter as a result of being able to kind of even voice any shame that they had felt, or being kind of able to let that go, or just loosen it a little bit, and even in 3 days we see the difference in people's demeanor, and they say that it makes a difference too. So
yeah so if you're interested, in any of what we've been saying, do reach out. We've got, I mean, this may be on YouTube, or out for a while, or on Facebook. So our next retreat is the 16th to the 18th of February 2024. But if you are interested in some of what you're hearing here, and you think, yeah, I'd like to, and it's past that date, do just reach out anyway, because we're running them. We run them throughout the year, various locations throughout the country. So do just reach out. I'll put the link to the page, the retreats page, underneath this video, or in the comments, wherever it is on Facebook or YouTube. And yeah, just get in touch, and we'd love to have you. Take care.
bye bye.